Hi, I'm Freya.
And I'm Wilf, and we're both teachers at Circus Central.
Today we're in the Mill Lane building in Fenham in Newcastle.
And Freya is going to take us through some front split stretching.
So we're going to get warm to start, so we'll warm up our hip flexors. You're going to come onto your knees and you're going to put your hands down onto the floor. To keep your wrists nice and happy, you can turn them out, so you want them facing outwards like this, not forwards. And then we're going to do some mountain climbers, so you're going to step back onto one foot and bring your other knee in, and then you're going to swap to the other side. And we're going to try and do 40 nice and fast. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep going. 20. 30. 40. Well done. Okay. Give your wrists a little bit of a shake, and we're going to stay down on the floor. So we're going to turn around and we're going to lie down onto our backs. So you're going to lift your hips off the floor with your feet flat down, and you see how high you can lift them. From here, I'm going to lift one foot. I'm going to squeeze my heel into my bum and then relax. Squeeze my heel in and relax. And we're going to do 5 of these. 3, 4, 5. Have a little relax, and we're going to get ready to do the other side. You might need a little bit of a balance aid if you've got a wall for this one. We're going to stand on one foot. I'm just going to nice and gently swing one leg. Keep it nice and heavy. You don't need to worry about pointed toes or straight legs for now. Nice. And then on the other side, it's a nice swinging. Yeah, very good. Give your legs a shake. And we are all ready to start our stretch. So you're going to pick a leg, doesn't matter which one you start with, and you're going to put one in front of the other. I'm going to sink down to a nice comfortable position. Try and keep your hands off your front knee. You can reach above your head, and we're going to hold this here. Breathing nice and deeply. You can hold your hands together. Have a nice little stretch if you want. A little bit of a move. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to let our back knee bend down. Trying to keep our hips nice and low. We're going to straighten our back leg. And we're going to bend it down. Straighten it up. And we're going to do 8 of these. When you've done 8, you can relax that foot down. You can untuck your back toe. You can reach your hands forwards towards the floor. So if you can get your hands flat, then absolutely great. If this is feeling nice and easy, you can reach your outside hand to the inside of your leg. And again, if you want to make it even harder, you can come down onto your elbows. And if this is also easy, you can bring this hand through. So you're giving your front leg a little bit of a cuddle. If at any point you get a tingly foot, you can give it a little bit of a wiggle, or come out, give it a bit of a shake, and return back in. Okay, coming back up onto your hands if you've been on your elbows. You're going to put your hands on either side of your front foot again. You don't need to be down flat, you can be up on your fingers. I'm going to straighten my front leg so that my hips come over the top of my back knee. I'm then going to flex my front foot, and then I'm going to return back to my lunge. And I'm going to repeat this again. So you're straightening your front leg, flexing your front foot, and return. I'm also trying to think about keeping my lower back flat, so I'm not rounding my back loads. I'm trying to keep it nice and open.
And you definitely don't have to flex your foot. If you flex your foot, it can make it quite intense behind your leg. So you're allowed to point your foot, just making sure you're comfortable throughout all of these.
And then from here, I'm going to put this foot back down. I'm going to tuck under my back leg, and I'm going to try and straighten both legs. If this is a little bit intense, you can come up onto your front leg, and you can use a wall to help you as well. If you can reach the floor, you can come down a little bit lower. Just find the right stretch for you.
And you can always walk your feet in a bit as well, and that just takes some of the pressure out of your legs.
And then I'm going to bend my front knee. I can put my knee down at the back again, and I'm just going to sit up like we did with that first lunge, and I can hold my hands above my head, have another little stretch. And I'm thinking about sending my back hip down to the floor. So I'm not opening out to the side, I'm trying to keep my hips forwards and really think about that back hip going down. If this is feeling super easy and you're super bendy and want a challenge, you can lift up your back leg and hold your foot behind you. It's a bit of a balancy one, so if you need to use a wall again, then that is absolutely fine. And then releasing that back foot again, I'm going to bring my front leg in. So I'm sitting down on my front hip, and as you can see, Wilf's leg is tucked in towards his bum.
And if you're unlike me and you have very flexible hips, then you can bring your foot forwards, and the further out this foot goes, the more of a stretch you're going to feel there. So if you're here and you're not feeling a stretch, just bring that foot out.
And if you want, you can have a little bit of a stretch forwards over your front leg. Feels nice and squishy in this front hip. And just the same, you can sit up even higher and you can try and look backwards. But just have a little bit of a move in this position because it's a nice one to get used to your split stretching. You can also have a check on your back foot and make sure that your toe is in line with your heel. You don't want any feet that are turned in or turned out. You want them nice and in line. And then I'm going to take my back leg and I'm going to swing it all the way around so it sits on top of my front foot. And I'm going to give my knee a nice cuddle. So from here, you can take your opposite hand to your top knee over the top and get a bit of an extra twist if you want. So I'm going to end up looking behind me. But just the same, if this is enough of a stretch, you can keep cuddling your leg. And then from here, I'm going to come down into a final little stretch for my legs. You can lean forwards, have a little bit of a move, just have final squish before we do the other side.
And as you can see, there's quite a big difference between mine and Freya's hips. So just wherever you're at with all of these, it's absolutely fine. It's just you try and have a nice stretch.
Then I'm going to take my top leg, put it in front of me, and send my other leg out behind me. And I can come up into this lunge on the other side.
And just remembering for all of these, imagine you've got some headlights on your hips. You want those headlights to be pointing straight forward in front of you. Often people will come forward, so like their headlights would end up pointing like this. And it's gonna compromise your stretch a little bit, so just really try and pull them, keep those headlights pointing forwards.
And remember to breathe deeply as well, that'll always help your stretching. And then I'm gonna untuck my hands and I'm gonna bring them to either side of my front leg again. I'm gonna straighten my front leg, flex that front foot, and return. We're going to do 8 of these. A few more deep breaths and then we're gonna place our front foot flat on the floor. We're gonna tuck our back leg under and straighten both our legs. Again, like before, if you need to come up a little bit higher, you can use a wall as a balance aid and you can put the weight on your front leg. And then returning back to the front, you're going to put your back knee down. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can grab your back foot, holding it with both hands will make sure that your hips stay pointing more forwards than if you hold it with one hand, because that lets you open up. And then you're going to release your back leg. You can put your hands in front of you again to take the weight as you come into what's called a pigeon pose. So again, you're sitting on that front hip. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring your foot forwards. And then you can sit in a more open shape with your knee. Again, you can lean forwards over that front leg. Or you can try and sit all the way back and look up. But have a nice little sit and find all of the stretches that you can. And then if you've got your heel out, you're going to pull it back in. Take your back leg all the way around, so you're hugging that front leg. Again, you can twist, so you take your opposite hand to your front knee over the top and then reach behind you. And then last but not least, you're bringing your front heel in towards your hips. So you're setting with both hip bones on the floor, knees one above the other. If your knee's up here, that is absolutely fine. You're just finding the stretch that's right for you. And then you're going to reach forwards. Very nice. And sitting back up, you can give your legs a little bit of a shake. They've worked really, really hard, so make sure you give them a bit of attention. You can have a little try of your splits. So wherever that might be, you can try one leg, see if it's down to the floor. You can also try your other side because we've stretched both.
And you can see what we were talking about the headlights here. She's got both of her hips facing forwards, and all of those lunge stretches, imagine she was to bend this leg or bend this back leg, all of those stretches just applying to this.
So we've done a lovely stretch for our splits. You can practice this whenever you want at home. Thank you very, very much for watching, and thank you, Will, for helping me to teach.
All right, I hope you all enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Bye.